worship in your presence here. And we just ask your blessing on Nikki. We ask that your Holy Spirit will be with her and speak powerfully through her. We thank you for a heart of service and commitment to you, that she's willing to go halfway across the world in your service. And Lord, will you bless us tonight through them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hi everyone. We alright? Yeah. Don't apologise for not doing a little dance in the aisle. I was gonna if there was some tunes on, but maybe you'll catch me dancing later if you're lucky. So I got asked about, well, this morning, if I would share some of my experiences, because this Steve is called to serve, and I've certainly been trying my best to do that last 10 days and indeed this weekend as well. And I thought, yeah, okay, that's terrifying, but let's. Oh, sorry. Oh, thanks. That's fine. He's alright. So I was like, oh, I'm really tired, and to be honest, my head's just a bit all over the place, but okay, what the heck, let's go for it. So I said yes. So, call to serve from the inside out, that's what I'm going to bring to you this evening, and I'm not aiming for it to be very long, but I am going to ask for some help of some very special people who also joined me on the Mexico trip. So can you please welcome Emma, Sarah, Caitlin, Jack. And is Joe still asleep? Yes. And is Andy still asleep? Yes. Shame on them. We're still going. Guys, can you just come up the stage, please? Do you want to stand on the stage? Yeah, round of applause, please. Just before I ask if you have a list anyone, Lava? Go away. That was going to be awkward. No, that's fine. But just before I ask a few questions, I just want to say really quickly that, right, not skilled in this, I've been absolutely privileged to go on this trip twice now, and I'm just so proud, I'm not going to lie, of these guys, because I used to be the youth leader, well, not Emma's, but Emma was a great volunteer, and she now is the youth leader, and I had a real heart to see these guys as young people just go out and actually put their faith into practice, and to really show the love of God, and that's what I'm going to be talking through tonight. So I just want to say that these guys have worked their socks off for the last 10 days. I have never seen anyone graft as hard as this team, and I'm just so proud of them. So I've asked them to come and share just a little bit to you tonight, so I hope that's alright. Nice and short and sweet, guys, if that's alright. Emma, I'm going to go to you first, because it wasn't going to be you and Andy, basically. So, Emma, why did you decide to go on M10? M10's a trip to Mexico for 10 days only.
So I decided to go to Mexico because I heard a lot about it from Nikki and Tom. Because they've been before, they told me about their experiences and showed me pictures and told me kind of what we do out there and whatever. And then all these guys said, oh well, we would like to go. And I thought, oh, well, you're going. Actually, I'd quite like to go and have the experience myself. And I've got to say, it was the best experience ever.
Thanks, Emma. Caitlin, can you just stick to the next slide, please? Sorry, this was rushed together. No, you're fine. This is a picture of one of the places that we visited in Mexico. If you just want to flip through to the top, that would be great. Caitlin, I'm going to ask you really quickly, because we did a few things in Mexico. We built a house, in fact we built 2 houses, but we also got the chance to visit the Women's Rehab Centre. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we went to the rehab centre and had like this house, it was a rehab house, it was like a shed kind of thing outside, and we got told that we had to kind of sort out the windows and sort out the walls and stuff so that we could have more girls in, because there was about 6 or 7 girls and they were running out of space, and like when we were there the police came and brought another girl and they were just starting to run out of space. And they also wanted to help all these girls, and so we got them.
You guys did really well. So you involved a bit of concrete laying the floor, Jack, which you had to mix by hand. Is that hard? Yeah. Show the muscles. No. Yeah, so would you say, guys, you were thrown in the deep end pretty much on the first day? Are any of you builders? Secondly. Any of you builders? No, except for George. Any of you carpenters? No? But you still managed to do that way, didn't you? Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about the orphanage that we visited?
Yeah, so third day, we went to an orphanage, and we had to paint a wall, like split groups, like some people clean the house and the general area, some people chopped up these huge logs that they had. I was on painting walls, but kind of like properly still around with us, like sand in, like sand all the walls down, took forever. And then a lot of people were doing like general wage, general guard. But like in the afternoon we got to play in football with all the kids that were there, and we had lunch with them, and it was nice lunch mix with like a proper meal, and it was really nice. It was like, and we'd all taken pencil cases over there to give to them as like a present because they didn't have lunch really, and that was really nice. And they were so grateful, like just they so appreciated it.
Thanks. And lastly, Jack, can you just tell us about the house build really quickly?
Okay, so we only knew we had to build one house, but then at the last minute we actually found out we were building two. So we had to split our group into two teams, like me and Nikki were on one, and Caleb, and then the rest of them were on the other team. So I don't know about the other team, but our house, we actually built it for our bus driver, who would actually be driving around the entire week. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, building a house is hard. It looks like it's like the size of a shed, so it was bigger than a shed, but when we got there, the foundation was already laid down, which was helpful. And then we were split into teams. We had one team, we go to the next one. One team were doing the walls, another team were painting all the slabs of wood, and the third team were doing the roof bit. So we managed to get the walls up, the half the roof on. So it was pretty much done by the first day, and then the second day we had to do all of the tiling on, which took a while. I think we managed to finish at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So on the second day, so yeah, it was the most rewarding thing ever, because when you give the keys to the family, it means so much to them, and you can see it, like how much it means to them. It just affected me quite a bit, like just to see like something so little as that, actually the size of someone's two bedrooms maybe in one of your houses. So it's the fact that that's a house which they can make into a home, which just really hits you, like how big the thing it is. So, yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks. Can I get a round of applause? Okay, so why feedback? Why get those guys to tell you about their experience and the hard work and the stuff that did? I mean, I know it's about saying they went without sleep, they did hard work, we know all that because you can tell from the pictures alone. But hearing it from their point of view, I think it's just got something special, really. But yeah, why am I telling you this tonight? It's not just because it happened like yesterday, the day before we got back. It's also because you guys are going out tomorrow in the community, in your groups and teams. And actually, you're going to be doing just as more important stuff as what we did in Mexico. Now, I've got a Bible verse, if you can put it on for me, please. And it's from Luke. And the reason I chose this is because when I was in Mexico, I had to do Bible study for the leaders. And for some reason, this verse came back to this. So I was like, oh, what the heck, just go for it. So I read it out, and so it says, once when Jesus was praying in private, and his disciples were with him, he asked them, who do the crowds say that I am? So who do the people say that I am? They replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah. Pretty important guys in the Bible, right? Really high up in the spiritual realm almost, okay? You'll all know that, some of you. And still others. And one of the prophets so long ago came back to life. But what about you? He asked. Who do you say that I am? And Peter answered, God the Messiah. So why does Jesus ask this question twice? He says, who do people, well, he asks two different questions really. He says, who do the people say that I am? Then they answer, okay, but who do you say that I am? Why not ask that question first? Why ask those two different questions? And really, to me, this is so important for you guys, because the message I want to get across today is that yes, tomorrow you're going to go out and it's only for one day and it's fairly local, but the impact that you could potentially have in the community and the people that you meet is absolutely amazing. The potential is great, and you don't have to go halfway around the world to do that. You don't have to go halfway around the world to change someone's life. It's all relative, it's all personal to that person. Can I have the next slide, please? So, I thought I'd use this. Now, some of you might have heard it before, and it's a bit, oh, you know, but it's still true. It says, preach the gospel at all times, and it's necessary to use words. Tomorrow you guys are going to be going out, and you might be split into twos, you might be in threes, you might be as a big group. But you're going to be asked to do things that perhaps you feel a little bit out of your comfort zone, just like what we were in Mexico. Okay, none of us were builders, none of us could lay concrete, none of us, I could cut wood. I love that song. But it was still out of our comfort zone. But you guys are going to be stepping out of your comfort zone as well. And what Andrew was talking about last night, I saw Gavin, because I missed it, I'm sorry. But he was talking about the presence of God goes with you. That verse, Jesus isn't asking about what have you been told, what are other people saying about me. He's more interested in what do you say about me. Who am I in your eyes? He's not asking to hear the intellectual question, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with that. But he's more interested in what's in your heart. Because there is a difference between knowing Jesus and knowing God up here, but there's a massive difference to what it means in here. If Jesus is in your heart, and if you really have grasped it, if you've asked those questions about him, even if you're like, who is this guy everyone's banging on about? Alright, that's what he's calling you to do. He's not calling you to just be like, oh, I'm just going to stand on stage and talk all of this and I'm going to hear a big booming voice. He's kind of saying, what is your point of view with me? It's such a personal thing. And I really believe that if you've got Jesus, if you understand him in your heart, then your actions are going to absolutely shine through, okay? Because he's going to be shining through you. And that's what I mean by the inside out. If you've got it right on the inside, the outside is just a given. So, it's a little bit gobbledygook maybe to some people. Some people you might have heard it before. But I really believe that essentially my faith lies on that. If I'm not right with God here, then I'm not right with God anywhere. So I wanted to ask Tal if she'd come up, if that's alright, and shine a bit more wisdom on this. And maybe do a bit of a time for you guys to have a chance to think about it deeper. But yeah, sorry, I'm just a children.
Thanks, Nikki. That's really amazing to hear what you guys have all been up to. Can I ask some of the bands to come up and play behind so we can do that kind of smooth segue again? Seamless, totally seamless. So me and Nikki were talking a little bit today about what she was going to talk about, and I said, yeah, that sounds great. And I've been thinking a little bit. I'm going to sit, right, because it's really bright standing. I might be able to concentrate better. Can you still hear me? Yeah? You don't need to see me. I'm not wearing my dinosaurs anymore. So, what Nikki was sharing was really tapping in, I think, to the fact that it can be really scary to serve God. And going out into the community can take you well outside of what you think you can do. You're probably not going to be playing with cutting trees down and building houses. Pretty sure that's not on the agenda for tomorrow. But there's still going to be things that you're like, whoa, dude, I can't do tiger face painting. You probably can actually. It's all relative. What's a tiger? A real tiger. And I was just listening to what Nick was saying, and I don't know if you know this, but before Staying Alive, we have a retreat for 18 to 30-year-olds. And it just really tied in with what Nikki was just talking about. We were listening and talking about Romans 12 passage. So it just kind of really struck me how much that fits with everything that she was talking about. And when I was a teenager, one of the most powerful things I ever heard was one of my favourite bands when I was a Christian teenager, called DC Talk. They do a song called What If I Stumble? Before that song, there is a quote, and it says, "The greatest single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge Jesus with their lips and then walk out the door and deny him by their lifestyle." That is what I think is unbelievable. And I can never say that about myself. And you guys are young and you might think, but it doesn't matter what I do. I'm just a kid. But you're not. That passage from Luke that Nikki's just shown us, Jesus asked his disciples, and look at the Bible, his disciples don't have very rarely the right answer. They never get it. They never get it the first time. They get so many things wrong. But he still cares about what they think. He asks what the crowds think, and then he says, what do you think? So it matters what you think. It matters how you live. It matters how you preach, how you teach, because it's not just the way that you dress, it's not just the words that you speak, it's everything, it's so much more than that. So as you go out in the communities tomorrow, it's the way that you talk to each other, it's the way that you try not to swear, it's the way that you kind of smile at people you've never met before. For some of us, smiling at strangers is actually really difficult, because people are scary. But that's actually perhaps what we're being called to do. When we look to the Romans passage, the bit that really struck me in my translation was, you will be changed from the inside out. Which I think is really encouraging, because sometimes we feel like we haven't got the skills, that we can't do this, but we do through God. And any gaps that you have in you will be filled by God. And what Nikki says about getting it right on the inside, that's the key. The outside is made more beautiful and more holy and more godly by the inside. What you look like on the outside is really affected by what's on the inside. So look at the Romans passage, and at the end of it, it finishes, do not be lazy, serving the Lord with all your heart. You might think you don't have a lot of love, you're only young, or you've not experienced much love, that's been a good thing. But you can be that change, you can be that person to make a difference. To one person, to a community, to a family, to the world. That's the way to live. If you believe that in your hearts, I truly believe that you have it in you to go out and do that. Each and every one of you. And it can start today, it can start tomorrow. It's never too late to start. But why do we put it off? So I'll ask you to think about that. We're going to enter a bit of time singing and thinking about those passages, thinking about the witness of the disciples, what Jesus was saying when he says, who do you say that I am? Who do you say that Jesus is? By the way that you live, by the way that you talk, by the way you treat other people. By your willingness tomorrow to go into the community and not just say, dude, it's raining, I'm not down with that. When I was a youth worker, I asked my kids, I made them wear bin bags. And you know what, it was fun, they enjoyed it. Rain, we are waterproof. We're pretty good like that. A little bit of rain, how much more effective and powerful is our witness if we go out there and still serve our communities and enjoy it for Jesus. For the gospel, because it's worth it. That's the inside that we need to get right. So just try to think about that and sing, and we can do a bit of praying. So thanks to Nikki for sharing that, and for you to reflect on what your insides look like.